Well, hello, SNHU 107 students, and welcome to your very last week of SNHU 107. Thank you for joining me for this week 8 webinar as we talk about the SNHU 107 takeaways to go. First and foremost, your experience here at Southern New Hampshire University is important to us. It is our policy and practice to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of instruction or course design that present barriers to accessibility, please notify the Online Accessibility Center, the OAC, as soon as possible at 866-305-9430. You can also email them at oac@snhu.edu or visit the Online Accessibility Center website. A couple of webinar reminders. This is an academic space, so always be mindful of your conduct. And these webinars, as always, are not mandatory, they're not graded, and there are not any extra credit points awarded. But I sure hope that you have learned things and been able to connect this information to your course material and assignments from week to week, and that you've had a little bit of fun. Y'all, we are here, the finish line. I am so proud of every single one of you, the work you have put in, the time you have put in, and just I want to remind you that you are 100% worth this journey. Now, if you have fallen behind, this is the time to reach out to your instructor. See if you can still turn in some of those assignments that maybe you missed. Or if you didn't do so hot on an assignment, see if you can turn it in for more points. They can always say no, but the answer is always no unless we ask. So really put your best self forward, advocate for your success in successfully passing this class. As you enter this last week of your SNHU 107 term, I want to remind you what is due. This week, you just have a final discussion, which is due on Sunday, or you can do it earlier in the week. Give yourself a couple extra days of a break if you want to turn it in earlier. But the biggest thing I want you to remember is to pay attention to those due dates and deadlines as the term ends this Sunday, and work is not accepted after that point. So make sure you have everything turned in so your instructor can properly grade your work. As a reminder, what this week eight discussion post is really you're going to be just kind of taking a minute and wrapping up the term. The first question is, what have you learned about the value of time management and goal setting, and why these behaviors are important for your future success? So think about what you've learned regarding time management and goal setting this term, and how these are important to you, and what you can do with them as you move from course to course or even outside the classroom. Question 2 is to discuss a future course or situation in which you could use these skills, resources, and motivational factors from this course to be successful. So share your thoughts, give examples. And question 3 is optional. But if you struggled but persevered, feel safe, feel free to share how you would overcome any challenges that were thrown your way. For example, maybe you got sick sometime through the term, maybe you fell behind, but you were able to get caught back up. Like, how did you do that? What made you keep pushing forward? Because sometimes life happens. And if everything went awesome this term, next term you might hit a bump in the road. And it's really neat to see how other students can overcome any challenges that might have come their way. So as a reminder, your initial post is always due by Thursdays, with your peer responses due on Sunday. So don't forget that, okay? So remember, again, the course ends on Sunday. So everything's due on Sunday, but for your discussion, still get that initial post submitted by Thursday, and then respond to at least 2 of your classmates by Sunday. As always, you can always work ahead on those, shall you want to, as convenient for your schedule. So I wanted to wrap up the term with just a couple of tips for your success as you move from SNHU 107 into other courses, because I firmly believe that you can take so many of the concepts and skills that we learned here in this class with you from course to course, because it really gives you a solid foundation for success here at the university. First and foremost, I love the tip of never miss a Monday. I know that Mondays can be tough sometimes, like, if you have a typical weekend, that free time is over and now it's kind of back to the grind, right? But I want you to kind of shift your attitude about Mondays a little bit and think about Mondays give you a chance for a new week. They give you a chance for a new start, a fresh start. Maybe you struggled the week before, or you just your week got away from you. What are some habits you can put into place for your success to be successful in the new week? As you know, we start new modules every Monday. So think of new module, new content, new time, or new opportunity to be able to set yourself up for success. Speaking of setting yourself up for success, I'm sure many of you learned that it's so important to make your SNHU time, right? Yes, you may be taking classes in an online space, but it is so important for you to map out time when you will read and study and do your assignments for your success. You have to do that in a way that works for you. So remember that. Do that in a way that works for you. But make sure you're scheduling that time and sticking to it as best as you can. If you can, work ahead earlier in the week versus later in the week. So that way, if your week gets away from you, it gives you some flexibility to not be overwhelmed. Another tip is to have that backup plan. Anybody have anything crazy happen this term? You got sick, kids got sick, baby came early, baby came late, work schedules might have changed. You could have had Wi-Fi go out or computers or phones break. Like things happen. We are human. We understand that. But it's so important for you to have a backup plan, meaning keep any of your faculty, your instructor information, contact information handy, phone numbers, email addresses. Same with the advising staff. If you had trouble with your Wi-Fi this term, what are some places that you could, maybe like a coffee shop or a library, you could go and do your work? If your computer gave you some trouble, did we get a new one or did we get it fixed? Maybe if we had somebody helping us with kiddos and that kind of didn't work out, what is our new plan? Just kind of make sure you think about some of those things and have those backup plans in place, and always communicate with your instructors and advisors so that we can help keep you on track or get you back on track. This kind of goes a little bit with knowing and making that SNHU time, but it's so important for you to know what is on your to-do list, what and who is a priority, what you have to do both inside and outside the classroom. Do your best to get yourself organized in a way that works for you, because it's just going to help you feel more in control of your schedule or your time. It's not going to be perfect every time, but it'll just help you kind of feel like you're more in control of where your time is going and who and what you're allowing into your life, both inside and outside the classroom. Because adding school to an already busy schedule is a lot. We all know that, right? However, this is an investment that you have made in yourself, and it's going to take some sacrifices. It's going to take some time and some energy and support from others. So, where can you put everything on a priority list and know what is due to help you feel your most successful? You guys also have heard this all term long. Communication is key. There is not a reason for you to not reach out to your instructors and your advisors. Okay. If you are stuck, if you have questions, if something comes up, it is so imperative for you and your success to reach out. Open up those lines of communication. You can email. There is phone numbers associated with your faculty, also with the different departments here at the university. If you struggled with something, what other resources that you can connect with for your success, and open up those lines of communication. I always love this one. I love to remind you all to take a minute and think about, like, who supported you genuinely this term. Whether it was helping review some of your writing assignments, maybe it was helping you, make that time for your homework. Maybe it was somebody that told you those hard truths or kept you motivated, kept you going. Like, who are those people in your life? Take note of who supports you genuinely, because it can take a success team to get you to where you're going. And maybe it's just you, but you work closely with the resources here at the university. Whatever it is, know that you're never alone here at SNHU, and we want you to be successful. We want you to also connect for your success. I love this quote by Stephen Covey. I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. We all can have a bump in the road. We all can have those weeks that just fall apart. We can have terrible things happen to us in our lives. We can have great things happen to us in our lives. But what matters is that we pick ourselves up and that we keep going. You have so many resources both inside and outside the classroom. We have learned a lot about them this term in SNHU 107. You have the SNHU resources, which this is just a snapshot. This isn't even everybody, but you have your instructors, your advisors, a career team, so many services underneath the academic support team, from that written feedback to the tutors, to the learning communities that you have in SNHU Connect. Plus, you have the library and the help desk right at your fingertips to help you be successful, both inside and outside the classroom. Plus, outside of SNHU, we have those personal or social supports that we can lean upon, like our significant others, our parents, our kids, our friends, coworkers, extended family, pets. But none of it matters if you are not putting in the time and the energy to make those connections and reach out when you might need support. Okay. So remember, connect for your success. And if anything, if you take anything away from this term, it is a reminder to believe in yourself. You have to think like, I can, I will, I am, like, I can do this. You got this, y'all. We are so proud of you and the work and the energy that you have put in all term long here at SNHU. Thank you for being a part of our family. I hope you have an amazing week 8. Celebrate your successes. High fives, woohoo, all the way around. I'm so proud of you. Have an incredible week 8. Enjoy your hard earned efforts. Take a little bit of a break. If you have questions, you get stuck, reach out. And just remember, you got this.